Life will never apologize. It will strike when you least expect it, deny you what you feel you deserve, and mock your sense of justice. The world owes you nothing, and anyone who tells you otherwise is lying to make you comfortable. This is the truth the Stoics embraced. Fate is indifferent, but you are not. Seneca said, "Fate leads the willing and drags the unwilling." Will you be dragged, bruised, and bitter? Or will you step forward, eyes open, spine unbent, and shape your response into mastery? Every hardship, every rejection, every injustice is a hammer shaping your inner steel. Marcus Aurelius faced betrayal, plague, and war, yet he wrote, "The impediment to action advances action." The obstacle, the unfairness, the betrayal, these are your tools, not your jailers. Now it is your turn. Stop asking the world to bend. Stop raging at what cannot be changed. Anchor yourself in principles. Convert loss into strategy. Harden your mind. Build discipline. Embrace discomfort. Let every unfair strike become fuel for domination. Over your mind, over your actions, over your life. If this message hit you, share it with someone who needs the reminder. Life will never be fair, but that is your advantage if you choose strength. Subscribe to Timeless Stoic Mind and commit to the path of mastery. Remember, the world will not stop testing you, but the Stoic will not break. Rise, refine, rule. Life will not wait for your permission to hurt you. It doesn't care about your dreams, your potential, or how unfair it feels. It moves, cold, indifferent, unrelenting, crushing the weak and testing the strong. You can cry, curse the sky, or drown in your self-pity, but fate does not flinch. Seneca once wrote, "Fate leads the willing and drags the unwilling." Those who fight reality are dragged by it, bloodied, broken, and bitter. But those who surrender to its law, who stop demanding fairness and start mastering themselves, begin to move with the current instead of against it. The Stoics never sought fairness. They sought power through acceptance. Not passive surrender, but total alignment, bending themselves where life refused to bend. Because once you stop needing the world to be fair, you become untouchable. This is your wake-up call. Stop complaining about what you can't control. Stop expecting justice from chaos. The world owes you nothing, but your mind can still conquer everything. This is not about optimism. It's about armoring your soul, because life will not stop striking. And the Stoic way is to learn how to strike back, calmly. There's a moment every man remembers, when the world looked him in the eye and said no. Maybe it was the job that slipped away after years of effort. The relationship that shattered without warning. The betrayal you didn't see coming. You stood there, jaw tight, chest hollow, replaying everything, searching for logic in chaos. You gave your best, and life spat it back in your face. You start asking the same question millions ask, why me? You tell yourself it's not fair. You point at others who had it easier, smoother, luckier. But fairness is an illusion, a child's myth. The truth? Life doesn't give you what you deserve. It gives you what you earn through endurance. Marcus Aurelius faced the same fire, betrayed by allies, surrounded by plague and war, and yet his words remained steady. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. It was never about the setback. It was about what the setback revealed. When you stop waiting for fairness, you stop being a victim. You begin to see rejection, failure, betrayal, not as attacks, but as refinement. Every burn forges a harder steel. Every denial redirects you closer to truth. The moment you accept that life isn't fair, something shifts. The bitterness fades, the noise dies down, and in its silence, a new strength begins to grow, one that no circumstance can touch. Because the Stoic doesn't beg the world to be kind. He becomes strong enough that it doesn't matter. The Stoics understood something modern minds have forgotten. Life is not supposed to be fair. It's supposed to test you. Every injustice, every rejection, every loss is not chaos. It's curriculum. Seneca, the Roman philosopher who faced exile, betrayal, and the threat of death, wrote, "Fate leads the willing and drags the unwilling." What he meant is simple. Reality is indifferent, but your reaction determines your destiny. The weak rage at circumstance, the wise align with it and use it. Marcus Aurelius faced plagues, wars, and betrayal within his own ranks, yet wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." The very obstacle that breaks one man becomes the proving ground of another. The difference is not luck, it's philosophy. The Stoic mindset is not passive acceptance. It is the ultimate psychological weapon, the ability to adapt to anything. Epictetus, born a slave, became one of the most powerful minds in history by internalizing one truth. We suffer not from events, but from our judgment about them. This is where Stoicism becomes warfare. The unfair world is not your enemy, your interpretation of it is. When you label something unfair, you hand over your power. You let emotion cloud clarity. You begin to think like a victim, not a strategist. The Stoic cuts that impulse at the root. He sees events as neutral, neither good nor bad, only raw material for mastery. Psychologically, this detachment rewires your focus. Instead of wasting energy on what cannot be changed, your mind sharpens around what can. Instead of fighting fate, you sculpt your response. Instead of collapsing, you calculate. Modern psychology calls this cognitive reframing. The Stoics called it control of perception. The world doesn't change, but your interpretation of it does. And that difference transforms your strength, your composure, your destiny. Life will drag the unwilling, those who resist, complain, and break. But for the willing, those who walk with fate, eyes open, spine straight, life becomes a forge. Every strike hardens them. Every injustice refines them. Every setback becomes a lesson in domination, not of others, but of self. That's the real Stoic victory. Not the power to control the world, but the power to remain unbroken within it. Stop whining. Stop waiting for the world to be fair. This is not a motivational pep talk. It's a tactical briefing. If life is rigged, learn to play the game on harsher terms. Below are 5 cold, repeatable operations that turn unfairness into advantage. Execute them daily. 1. Stop expecting fairness. Expect tests. Right now, entitlement is your weakest muscle. Replace it with a brutal assumption. Life will test me. Reprogram your mind to see obstacles as deliberate drills. Each setback is a scheduled exam. Show up prepared. Practical step. Every morning list the top 3 things that could go wrong today and write 1 action you will take if they do. This is mental preloading. It removes surprise and converts shock into strategy. 2. Control the response, not the event. You cannot force outcomes. What you can force is your reaction. Epictetus boiled this down. Master your attitude. When injustice hits, pause, 3 deep breaths, then choose action over drama. Tactical habit. When triggered, speak 1 factual sentence out loud, no emotion. Then do a micro task that moves you forward. Send an email. Train 10 minutes. Clean your workspace. Action disarms panic and rebuilds authority. 3. Convert loss into reconnaissance. Rejection is intelligence. Don't sulk. Interrogate. Ask, what failed? What was my assumption? Where was I naive? Create a failure file. Record the exact variables, your decisions, and 1 metric to improve. Then iterate. Winners don't avoid loss. They catalog it and apply the lesson. This turns chaos into a map. 4. Build Stoic calluses through voluntary hardship. Comfort creates fragility. The Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort to harden the will. Start small and escalate. Cold exposure, intermittent fasting, digital fasts, physical training, silence hours. Schedule 1 deliberate discomfort session weekly and increase its duration. The purpose: expand your tolerance window so external unfairness no longer destabilizes you. You won't merely survive storms, you will stand in them. 5. Anchor to immutable principles. not outcomes. When the world rips everything away, principles remain. Define 3 non-negotiables, e.g., truth, craft, endurance. Let those govern decisions instead of approval or reward. Tactical drill. When faced with a crossroads, ask which option aligns with your principles, not which one promises comfort. Living by axioms makes you predictable to yourself and unpredictable to chaos. It transforms you from a reactionary into an architect. These 5 tactics are surgical, not sentimental. They replace hope with horsepower, rehearsal for disaster, measured response, intelligence from loss, trained resilience, and principled action. Practice them until your reflexes change. When life is unfair, most men crumble. A few use unfairness as material. Which one will you be?